we want to show here is how we link internal training, right, into reality, right? Because a lot of people are talking about internal Wing Chun, external, which one's external, which one's internal. There's really no such thing as internal external, because you can't do anything unless you have some awareness of how your body's internally working. Okay, so when I use my muscles to move, even though that's physical, and people class physical as external, I'm still internalizing what I'm doing. I'm still internalizing when to release pressure, when to hold pressure, how to feel their weight, the proprioception, the time, the balance, the angle. Everything is still internalized. What we do have is you have good internalization and bad internalization, right? Just the same as you have a good push-up and a bad push-up, right? It's just whether you're doing it right, okay? In terms of, are you feeling it at the time, right? If Ali pushes me and I'm tense, and I got balance, that's bad internal skill, right? Because she pushed me, I didn't release my shoulders, and I didn't control my elbows, right? I didn't link to my body. Some people think just elbow to hip is the best scenario for Wing Chun, hip and elbow connection. And that was being pushed by our lady. But that to me is what you'd call external. They're focusing on one external angulation or biomechanics. That's not what we're doing. Of course, you need to have good biomechanics. At the high level, you can cheat the biomechanics. Okay? You can cheat them by internalizing the movement and using your muscles to connect properly and the fascia control to redirect the pressure that's going through your body. Okay? And we see that in jiu-jitsu all the time. You're tricking someone a bit because it feels like you're doing the right thing, but they're doing the wrong thing, but their wrong thing works, right? And you see this in jiu-jitsu when you sweep somebody, you're doing the perfect sweep, and they change their base, change the position, they land on top of you, and you go, oh man, that was the best sweep, nothing happened, right? Because what they did is they internalized what you were doing, and they reacted to that, and they adjusted to that, and they beat your adjustment, and then they changed position, right? So that's pure internal, as far as I'm concerned. You need to have good energy consumption, good breath control, good biomechanics, it's all internal training, right? So there's no such thing as external or internal. There's only can you internalize things well, right? And people talk about magic stuff in terms of breathing and sinking chi and stuff. It's all smoke and mirrors for me because it has to be something tangible, right? Something tangible. Anybody who's saying that they can just sink chi to get energy or to get movement and throw you further than someone else is really, usually when you look at it and you see what they're doing, it's kind of a slight trick of movement, right? The person's doing it slowly, right? The value pushes towards me and she stiffens up. I can get the reaction force and I can eject her very easy. She pushes a bit harder, I can release it and take her balance and feel her weight, right? So all this stuff is because she's let me do it as well. She's trying to do what I told her to do, okay? Now that's one stage in terms of demo something. If Ali stays a little bit stiff and she tries to push me, I can show you, I can show you how I can get reaction force, how I can delete, how I can disrupt someone's structure, how I can eject them, how I can control them very easily. And I don't have to move because I'm putting all that pressure through my body and I'm sequencing my joints correctly to do that, right? So that's what we call a demonstration level, right? Okay, so we're here like this, she pushes towards me, I can hold my weight, I can sink, I can couple with the ground, or some people would call root. I have choices. If she pushes this way, I can release off balance this way, and eject her. If she pushes this way, I can absorb more and twist and use body torque. And then I can take her weight off her balance, and then I can throw her really quite well, right? Okay? But she let me do that because she's giving me pressure and I'm controlling the pressure. Right? So we're working together for me to feel control of movement, for me to understand how much weight, how much time do I have before that happens. But that needs to translate into real practice because no one on the street comes up to you and tests your internal sequencing or test your internalization of movement. They try to punch you in the face, they try to hurt you, right? Then the people will say, oh, I'm training for the art, I'm training for health. Well, yeah, so do we. But we also train martial arts. We don't just train the art, we train martial arts. So the martial part is it has to transcend into what we like to do, which is defend ourselves as well. The confidence we get from martial arts is because we can defend ourselves. That's what gives you the inner peace. It's because you're not at war with the world, right? Because you feel you can control your environment and control your center. So the martial side is quite important for that peace of mind, right? The art is important for your health, right? So you need both, right? So demonstration-wise is fine, all good. I think demonstration stuff is very valuable. We use it a lot. I'm teaching someone to load weight, push towards me. I load weight. I push Ali, she loads weight. If I push too much, she can now relax her shoulder, take my balance, see how my balance goes. I give her my weight to control. If she controls it, then she gets it, right? If she didn't control it, like you didn't sink properly, then it wouldn't work, right? So that's important part of your training is to internalize what you're trying to do with the movement, the sequencing, the muscle control, relaxing your breath properly. That's very, very important. And then it takes a step up into Chi Sao, which is more of a controlled live environment. It's controlled because we have a set parameter of what we're trying to achieve. And it's live because I don't know what she's going to do, she doesn't know what I'm going to do. But now we need to have the same internalization skill in our live environment. Right? So when we roll, it's no good just to roll like this and start firing shots and that's what I'm doing, because all the other stuff I just did doesn't exist. Right? I need to go to roll, I need to go to control her movement, and she needs to link and delink and control her movement. People often ask, why don't we step too much? Because at the start point, we're trying to see, can we control our center? Right? Once we have that center control, then of course you can step in, you can change the striking, you can move around, of course. But for us, the first point of internalization to test that is, can I not move first? Right? That's why some of the older training people stand on the stilts, is because can you control your base? Right? You know, we've done some stuff before, which I did years ago on a Bosie ball, and tested, can you control your balance with pressure? And someone on one of the forums the other day was saying, oh, that's not good training. It's like, of course it's good training. I'm having to stabilize my body under external pressure and keep my base. So I'm having to internalize up and down, high and low. They said, oh, it doesn't use the lower legs. Of course it uses the lower legs. That's crazy. It makes it much harder. Try it. Stand on the Bosie and see if you can take pressure. It's different, right? So this is our next stage. It's here. We're rolling in here. I'm trying to get the same type of internal skills. I'm putting pressure on her body. I'm trying to take a balance. Then I'm looking to see where's my strike and attack. You see there, I didn't just pull it with strength. I sunk my body and pulled it forward. Now I have the position. I can try to eject it. So we can do that in a live environment. We're here. We're pushing and pulling, but not just physical. Right? It is physical, but it's timing. So he pushes me or pulls me. I forget, he's going to push and pull backwards. So I have to react to that. Right? So here, that's it. Good, good. So this is why I make sure we can close our eyes, because we're trying to feel what's happening. So my eyes are closed now. I'm feeling what's happening. I'm controlling the balance, the timing, the sequencing. I'm talking, practicing that balance. What is my balance? I'm controlling my weight. Controlling the power of my strike. I'm controlling the power of my strike. But be careful now, she's asking me. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so there, push. See, there's an internalization of movement. She pushes me, I read that position. I'm sequencing my body to control. She pushes me again, I'm here. Now she'll balance. Now I have my position to eject. I need to do that in a live environment. If I can't do that in a live environment at this type of speed, how am I going to do it when someone's coming at me with full power? Okay? So good. Often in Chi Sao, I often wait. You say, oh, why is that happening? Because I'm making her work. I want her to try and figure out what will be next. So this is what we do as a teaching process. Ali needs to work out, because obviously I've got this. So what will she do? What should she do? So she's eating the space up, she's moulded. Now we're going to do that. So she can get it, just try to pull her out. Okay? So you always, in Chi Sao, you'll go fast and slow sometimes because you're trying to help each other. If she gets me into a bad position, push my balance. Say I'm off balance here, right? Okay? So we start from here, go. So it looked like I just pulled my hand out and strike, go back, go. But what I did there, I'm in a bad position, I sunk my hip onto her elbow, right? Allowed me to strike, because I put weight onto her hip. So she pushes forward now, I weighted her body, right? Okay? So here, I can strike free. Then I released it to make her stumble a bit, right? Because she had to commit too much weight to stop with the first pressure that was on her hip. She had to push back, and I released that, and then I could take control of momentum. Now I'm controlling momentum, she's gone a bit light on her hips. Then I can start taking control, and that's when you can see this, where you can step in and eject people, right? So that's a stage 2, right? So stage 3 now, we'll put some gloves on. You can do this without gloves if you want, but with gloves is safer, because with gloves, 2 points, right? One is, okay, there's some of those techniques are taken out, but the thing is the person can hit me faster and harder, which is better for me, because the faster she can hit me, then the more I have to deal with that speed and control, the more I have to get my internalization working at that rate of speed. There's no point if all my internalization is slow, right? So slow is training the nervous system to move smoothly, slowly, articulate joints. But at the end, it has to be fast. It has to be a fast movement. The slow movement is so we can train the nervous system, right? Once you train the nervous system, then you need to apply it. If you only ever train it slow, your breathing's not going to work properly, your power's not going to work properly. All that practice of doing these demonstration punches, they're all going to get suffocated, right? I see a lot of people demonstrating punches, they hit people, the person standing like this, and they're like, look at my power, look at my power. Yeah, I can do all day long. But then when she's trying to punch me, I need to be able to move, take the punch away, hit with the same power and same control with all that chaos going on. That's the skill. And some people are not able to see that with the gloves on because they're told it doesn't exist, right? But you have to try to look at it. So we're going to spar. It doesn't have to be hard. We're only going to go touch to the head. We'll hit a little bit harder to the body, right? Okay, but we're only going to touch contact to the head anyhow because you're going to save your brain cells. But it's not how hard you hit, it's how well you control, right? So even though it's a live sparring, a live environment, it's still a very controlled environment. It's still a learning environment. And when we take it into a hard environment, when the guys fight, then the way we train is no different than the way we fight. It's the same. It's the same process. It just means, you know, you can let things go a little bit, right? But in fact, it's the same process because when you fight, you're trying to harness your skill. You're not trying to go berserk. You're trying to, I mean, when I'm under pressure, I mean, from my age, I'm always sparring guys that are 20 years younger that are fighters, and I can outlast everybody. And I spar everyone in the mat as they will take turns resting. It's not because I'm fitter and stronger, it's because I use my energy better. So I use my chi better, I use my breathing better, I use my technique better. Right? I'm not weak, obviously, but you know, I have asthma and I'm not as fit as some of these guys. But most of the guys are taking 20 minutes out while I'm still going, right? Because I'm able to conserve better. Right? So that's internalization. The technique allows you to apply your body and use your body in an optimal environment, in an optimal way. Right? Yeah. So we'll grab some gloves. So all we're going to do here is exactly the same, just a little bit of light sparring, but we're going to look for the internalization of skills. Huh? That's internal for us. What you can do as an experiment is someone that can move slowly, and everyone can move fast. See what happens. Right, so you move really slow, and move fast. Really slow. More slow. Right, so here, what we'll do is normal sparring, moving around. So how we're going to control the body, control movement. When we get close, so how you do the timing, see your shots, come in, get one quick movement, control and balance. Alan's very strong, so you see that I wait. So I'm looking for an opening, I'm trying to take my balance. So you do this. I'm sticking. See this, you've got the bell in that position, because you control the weight better. Now I'm going to lower the wrist, high low. I'm trying to push my balance a little bit into my strike. Time it. Again, high low. Nice. Yeah, see, even here on one leg, if my knee starts, pushes forward, off balance, I put my weight into her, she pushes up on one leg, push. We can control our weight, because we're internalizing control of position. Even the bait makes someone over commit their balance. So let's make them over internalize, overload them. So we're going to clinch, we're going to close. I want you to watch the body movements, we'll stay close. Use my hands out. Your hands out to turn. Control the head. Lift it up. Alright. Good job. So you can see quite a lot of internalization from the movement. If we go back to the beginning. Controlling our body to offset somebody, offset the strike, pull him to a strike, move him to a strike, he pushes me, control my body, control your movement, eject somebody. That's all our internal skill, right? But it has to apply to Chi out. When you strike and move and hit, you control all this movement. Has to apply here. Balance, strike. Right. Even from the fact I'm 20 kilos heavier than Ali, maybe 21 kilos, but I can't drag her around easy because when we clinch up, she sinks her weight, then controls her hip, pushes her hip into me, she controls her base, controlling her balance, and then she'll get a grip, control the grip. Now I'm in trouble, and then she got me a few times with punches here, boom. Now I need to try and use my fork to cover that up, use my tan to spread open and try to open back up for my strikes. So all internalization, there's a battle going on, not just technique, but actually the sophistication or sequences of the body. Okay? Okay, so that's our normal practice. Train the drills, train the skill, train an awareness of the chi sao or what is developing, and then put it into sparring, put it into practice. And you're going to get hit, you're going to make mistakes, but it's the mistakes and getting hit that's teaching you a high level of awareness. I can always tell the guys that talk a lot, but don't train a lot, because they do a lot of demos, they're not sparring, there's no sweat. If you can train in a polo shirt all the time, in long trousers, and you're not sweating enough, right? You know, we train in a gi a lot of times, and it tortures us, right? We put on a wrestling top and wrestle, I can breathe, because you're going to sweat a lot, right? You need to be able to train in that environment. It doesn't mean you have to go super hard, it doesn't mean you have to be super fit. It just means that you have to be able to put the engine on and run the engine, right? We trained, that was very light sparring, right? We didn't hit each other hard, no one got hurt, okay? But a lot of movement, a lot of momentum control, a lot of control of the breath. I was talking while I was doing it, so I'm actually using more oxygen than normal, but I'm able to make Hallie work hard. She was working hard, okay? But I'm talking while I was doing it, and I'm explaining what I'm doing. So there's a lot of internalization going on at different levels, and I'm still applying the skill at a workable level. Okay, so that to me is internalization of skills. Right? So instead of external, internal, there's no such thing. It's only can you internalize what you know. If you don't, then you're either a beginner learning to do it, or you're doing something wrong. You're too stiff, you're too rigid, you haven't been taught how to use the bows properly, you haven't been taught how to use your joints properly, you haven't been taught how to sequence properly. I've taught seminars all around the world to many, many different groups of Wing Chun, and every seminar I teach, people come to me after and say, wow, I learned so much about the body, right? We're not talking about Wing Chun, it's how we use our body, right? Because they didn't realize how much of the body is used and how sophisticated that is. The technique is easy, right? It's simple, but the depth and the sophistication of movement is really where the art's at.